What are we selling? We're selling you, the most important product in the world. Okay? I know some of you, okay guys, thank you for tuning in and thank you for watching our channel. Some of you will be like, who's this guy? Why is he telling me how to get a girl? What I don't know how. It's not that. It's not that. I'm just qualifying myself to you. I don't feel like I have to, but in case you're wondering, like, well, who's this guy? Who's he to tell me what to do with my life? Well, here's the thing, guys, alright? I used to work for a major phone distributor, service provider in America, and again, they flew me all over the U.S. to become their trainer, okay? So, they hired me as a trainer, and why did they hire me as a trainer? Well, quite honestly, in order to become at a trainer level, you have to produce numbers, aka sales, yada yada yada. You have to meet a certain quota as far as selling insurance. You know what I'm saying? But I never made my numbers by. Unfortunately, a lot of salesmen out there, as you guys know, have a bad reputation because they lie. Now, here's the thing, okay? Now, again, you've heard me mention the name Dale Carnegie. The reason why I read his books. And I also read Zig Ziglar, okay? For those of you who are not aware, these books are basically geared towards people dealing with people and selling stuff, okay? So, what I'm getting at is, without me realizing it, I was actually a natural-born salesman, but not in a deceptive way, because there are deceptive people out there. The proper way to sell anything in this world is to tell them the truth, okay? And that's why, essentially, clients flock to me, not because I'll sell them, well, actually, I did tell them outlandish things, but I'll get to you with you later that, and I meant outlandish, all right? So, to be a good salesman, you have to be truthful. You have to tell the customer what's true, what's not, what's myth, what's expected, what's going to happen, okay? And you're like, wait a minute, I thought this was about picking up Filipinas. Well, guess what, guys? What do you think we're selling here? You're selling yourself. You have to remember that. You're selling the most in product in the world. You're selling yourself. And if you're not truthful about yourself, why would they stick around? You understand? Hey, I was the salesman that you needed, not the salesman you wanted. I'm the salesman that if you approach, I mean, I never worked in a boutique store. If I did, again, if you were like, how do I look in this outfit? I'll be like, heck no. Put it back on the shelf now, please. Again, people didn't listen to me because I told them what they wanted to hear. It's because they'd be like, whoa, what? Wait a minute, this guy isn't after my money. This guy is actually telling me the truth, which is a harder sell. Think about it. One of my biggest sales I ever made, okay, it was like $11,000. Okay, I'm exaggerating. Quite honestly, it was $10,888.96. I remember that because, quite honestly, I mean, who can make one sale with that kind of number? It's unheard of in my industry. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you right now. Again, I was a salesperson for a phone company, mind you. Okay. And guess where I made that sale? In Publix. Okay, in Publix, in the middle of the aisles. Now, for those of you who aren't aware what Publix is a supermarket. What that means is, I was actually off work making big buck sale. Okay. Now, how did I make that sale? Quite honestly, I remember the guy being in the store. And I looked at him and I walked down the aisle. Like, oh, hey! And I gave him his name. Well, remember, I'm actually really good with names. You guys have already noticed that. Like, hey, how you doing? Like, oh, and I look in his cart. Before I approach him, I already looked in his cart. Okay, salespeople scan you up and down. From your shoes, your socks, your watch, your necklace, your earring, you name it. So I scan him. Okay. And I was like, oh, so you have little yogurts. You have kids? I'm like, yeah, I do. Oh, yeah, that's actually pretty good. Now, mind you, here's the thing. I wasn't trying to sell them anything, to be honest with you. I was just trying to make conversations. I'd be like, hey, kind of like, hey, bro, you're in here. You're in one of the stores I shopping. What are you doing here, kind of deal, you know? But guess what? Because I approached him as a human being, he's like, you know what? I like you. My company is going to invest in your company. So this is what I'm going to do. And guess what? The next day he did show up at my work and says, where's George at? Boom, boom, boom. Done. Legendary. Okay. Now, I'm not saying I'm legendary. I'm saying the sale was legendary again. And to make it worse, even my boss was like, George, how'd you make that sale? He just walked in here, asked for your name, and then done. I said, oh, I met him in Publix, and we talked about it, you know. We shot the bleep, you know. you know. But that's what I'm trying to impart to you right now. How do you pick up Filipino or Filipina? Again, it doesn't matter whether you're, this works, whether you're male, female, non-binary, it doesn't matter. Because human, or rather, there's a famous saying, okay? Peoples is peoples. Okay? It doesn't matter what color you are, what race you are, where you're from. People will always be people, okay? Now, what we're going to do is, we're going to treat this like you're a salesman. And again, okay, what are we selling? We're selling you. The most important product in the world. Okay? If you're going to go on your computer, you're going to type, what is the 5 best techniques of salespeople that they use? Okay. Number 1, active listening. Okay? Active listening. Warm calls. I'll expand that later. Okay? And then they're going to go with features and benefits. All right? Needs and solutions. And last one, but not least, social selling. So, I'm going to expand on this later on. I have other videos that we talk about, okay, what's girlfriend material for you and what's wife material. 2 different entities, 2 different personas. It's really rare that you get both, okay? Because usually the girlfriend material is usually still at an early, that's like the larvae stage of a woman or a man. Well, quite honestly, men stay larva stage forever. All right. And then there's the wife stage or husband phase, aka the mature version. Now, these are 2 different entities. Okay, it's really hard to get one in the middle. It's a very hard balance. Okay, I told you that I've had some of my friends ask me like, "Hey, whatever to that girl? Like, how come you're not with her anymore?" Or, "Hey, you guys were going out for a while. Whatever happened to that one?" You know? It's because usually, again, I compartmentalized my love life then before I was married to Heidi. Girlfriend material, the wife material. Okay, and again, your specifications, wants, and needs on both are going to be different from what I'm looking for in a person as far as girlfriend material and wife material. So I'm not going to expand on that. But again, I told you that none of the videos that we do, they're not rehearsed. Even the jokes at the end are not rehearsed. In fact, we don't even know what we're going to say at the end of the video or whatever. But you can tell that there's synergy between you and Heidi. So that tells you that I made the right choice as far as the person I want to be with, aka life partner. So, that being said, again, that's up to you who you want to be, if you're still in the girlfriend phase or the wife phase. That's a completely different story. Now, presentation. This wasn't on the list because this is kind of like, it's a given. Alright, do you ever sell your car without cleaning it? Like, seriously, have you ever sold your used car that you owned and leave the McDonald's garbage in the back seat? Yeah, some of you have that McDonald's garbage bag in the back. I know. Okay? So, my bottom line is, do you actually sell your car with that crap in the back? That ketchup stain right by the car seat? And again, I'm not judging, but reality is, some of you do. And then you wonder, like, why didn't I sell it? Presentation is everything. Okay? Now, I'm not telling you to be like this. Dr. Jones, let me take a picture. Dr. Jones, let me take your picture. And I'm not telling you to dress up like this. Okay. You guys have seen me in my videos walking around, okay? You've seen I usually dress up, just jeans, Snickers, and just usually, most of the time I don't even wear a branded shirt, it's just a regular shirt. Okay, and my GoPro hat. I'm not the only guy who walks around town with a GoPro hat, okay? So that does not make me unique by any means. And actually their GoPro is better than mine, only because I choose not to put my best GoPro on my head in case somebody does decide to like relieve me of it. Okay? So that doesn't even count, really. Okay? Watch this. Busy kayo yan eh? Getting mabuko in Philippines? Ale?
Wala pang tao.
Really? Wala pang Amerikano?
Wala pa, sir. Ka pa yata ng Amerikano.
See what I mean? You guys have watched my videos, right? I don't even speak English. I intentionally make sure I don't speak English. Okay? I usually speak the native tongue, or tongues. Okay? And yet, they're like, you're the first American here. You think it's because of what? My language? My hat? No, again, the hat. Trust me, I've seen other Filipinos wearing a better GoPro hat than I do. So that's not new. Okay? It's because of how I carry myself. How I don't dress up to the nines either. But I dress nice. I dress decent. Okay? I have a solid strut. I walk with confidence. Okay? Do you try to like go out on a day in your waiting/fishing outfit? No. Same thing when you're trying to attract the opposite sex. I'm not telling you, I guess, to dress the nines. I'm telling you to be decent. Okay? Take a shower. Okay, some of you be like, well, why do you need to say that? Well, quite honestly, trust me, male or female, they are guilty of this. Sometimes they go out on dates or try to meet other people and they haven't taken a shower. And do you honestly think that whoever you're dating with, we don't notice? We do. We just don't tell you because we're just being nice. Okay? I'm not talking about Filipinos here. I'm talking about anybody you've met, for those of you who don't take a shower. Trust me, we notice. We just being nice. So again, take a shower. Okay? Hygiene. Brush your teeth. That's another thing. Brushing your teeth. Again. And again, all salespeople, make sure they're nice and neat and they're nice and clean. They brush their teeth, everything. Heck, we even have those sprays. You know? It's no different, guys. It's no different. Again, you're selling the most valuable product on earth. You're selling you. Okay? So just remember that. Presentation is not everything, but it's your first impression. And you only get one chance to make a first impression. Okay? Okay, so now we're going to go to active listening. Active listening. What does that mean? Active listening. Now, don't pretend that you're, like, what I'm saying is, when they start talking, I know some of you, their head goes like, blah, 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 blah. When am I going to hit you in the sack? No, guys, that's not how it works. You have to be actively listening. Because guess what? They're trying to communicate with you. They're trying to tell you something. Okay? And guess what? If they're scammers, this is the part when part of your brain throws out those flags. Active listening. You're going to listen to their wants and needs. Okay? You guys are going to communicate. Alright? And that's key. And then this is going to segue to the next topic, okay? Warm calls and social selling. Okay? Again, I'm using these topics to sell something in case you guys just tuned in. If you're a real salesperson or a real hustler in this topic, you don't need warm calls. You don't need a lead. Social calling, you don't need Facebook. You don't need Instagram. You don't need none of those. All you need is you. You. All you need is you. The best cold call you can do is basically approach them. It's just basically a cold call. You know what's a cold call, guys? Randomly dial a number. Hey, would you like to have a new cell phone service? Same thing. Here's for instance, okay, this happened in 7-Eleven. Okay. This happened in 7-Eleven in Sarasota, Lockwood Ridge. I can tell you exactly when, I don't know. I'm ancient. It's a bajillion years ago. Alright. This lady comes in with a pixie cut. She looked like Cynthia Rothrock. If you don't know who that is, she's a martial artist, a big martial artist that made movies. Okay. She looked like her. She had a gym bag on, but regular clothes. Okay. I was in there. I looked her up and down. I could see her gym bag. I could see a piece of cloth hanging out from her gym bag. And I was like, "Oh, hi. You just got out of the gym?" She's like, "Yeah." I said, "Huh. What martial arts do you do?" And she was like, "How'd you know?" "Well, you're a black belt, aren't you?" So I said, "That piece of cloth was the very end of a black belt." She's like, "How'd you know?" "Oh, your black belt's hanging out." You know, again, don't lie, guys. Don't lie. There's no reason to lie. And she's like, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, what martial arts do you do?" And she's like, "Oh, I do Taekwondo." And I was like, "You compete, don't you?" She's like, "Yeah, how do you know?" I said, "Well, just by the way you're walking, you have a very good stance. You're solid. You know, when you look, at the corner of your eye, you're kind of sharp." That's what I told her. She's like, "Yeah, actually, I do compete." That's what she said. I'm like, "Oh, that's nice to do." And she, "How do you know all of this?" Oh, and I said, "Well, because I'm a black belt too." Guys, I am too, but I'm not trying to say this. I'm just telling you to verify the story on where it leads, okay? And she's like, "Yeah, oh, that explains everything," she says. And she said, "Oh my God." She's like, and then she kind of like, "He's not a stalker. He's like me. He understands me. He feels me. It's because I related to her." So now she's like, "Oh," you can feel the, you know, it's because she's like, "Okay, I'm safe with this guy. He's not after anything. He's saying those things because he's one of us." So anyway, we start talking, and she was one of America's Taekwondo champions during that year, okay? And we talked for about 5 minutes. And at the end of the conversation, guess what she does? She hands me her phone number. And the thing is, guys, here's the catch, all right? I wasn't interested. I didn't want her phone number. I was just being me. I was just having a conversation with another human being. And she gave me her phone number. One of the most fittest, most badass woman in America during that time technically asked me out. And I wasn't trying because, quite honestly, I wasn't interested. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had a girlfriend at the time. I didn't bother mentioning that because, again, I wasn't interested. I was just talking from one martial artist to another. I mean, it was a black belt 4. I was just a black belt 1. I mean, she's way up there, I mean, out of my league as far as martial arts go. But bottom line, I didn't talk to her because I was interested. I would talk to her because she was a person. Okay? So what I'm getting at, cold calls are sometimes the best. Kind of like that Publix guy that I sold $10,000, $880 worth of products. I didn't approach him because I wanted $10,000. I approached him because he was a person. Do you understand what I mean? If you approach people as you, and you approach people as them, then they would disarm themselves. They'd be like, he or she doesn't want anything from me. She just wants to hang out and chill. And that's where I'm getting at. Okay, now we're going to go to the others. We're going to go to the other spectrum of selling. Okay, now you're going to go to features and benefits. What are those? Well, here's the deal, guys. I mean, again, this applies for both sexes, male, female. I mean, I have been approached by women that are like, well, this is my income. This is what I can give you. This is what I can offer you. This is some Chinese lady. I'm not being racial here, but I'm just telling you the race. And it's probably a culture thing, I don't know. She's like, well, this is how much I make. This is what I do. This is what I offer. And we're like, okay. Bye. What I'm getting at, don't force sell yourself. I mean, think about it this way. You go to Best Buy. You're looking at these new UHD TVs. This UHD TV is $5K. Here, it's $6,000. Go. Here's the service plan. Buy it. Buy it. Buy it. You think they're gonna buy? No. You sell the features and benefits. Okay. Again, so you know your limits too. Only you know your features and benefits. But don't pound them. What I'm getting at, okay. So let's say you have a good income, okay? Regardless of whether it's Social Security, pensions, or whatever. You're going to say, you know what? You know, you don't say the you know what part. You just go look out in the distance. And you go like, And they'll be like, instinctively, the one will be like, what are you thinking? And you're like, oh, nothing. I was just thinking maybe it would be nice that you and me have like, it'd be cute. We go to ride that cup in It's a Small World in Disney. No. That's kind of like to them, they'd be like, aw, he's so sweet. And he'd be like, he's thinking about us spending time together and It's a Small World in Disney. Oh my God, that would be so cool. Versus, you know, I make $50K a year. We can go to America, take you anywhere you want. Yeah. No, guys, come on. That's not how it works. Because that's like beating it to the ground. You're forcing yourself. You're trying too hard. You have to present yourself on the way you feel about her. Or if you present yourself as a spreadsheet, then guess what? That's exactly what you're attracting. You're attracting a money-grubbing gold digger. So what I'm saying is, if you're flashing your money around to attract your mate, you're attracting the wrong kind of fish. You understand? There's a difference. When it comes to knowing yourself, you should know your limitations. What can you do? What can't you do? Kind of like put boundaries. I know Heidi said this. Give them your boundaries. And you know what that means. For example, if she ever says, will you ever take me to the United States with you? Be honest. You're like, sorry, babe, I really don't want to go back. Or tell them, yeah, but probably in 10 years or so. You know, be honest. Now, if they break up with you because you decided, oh, I don't want to go back to the United States anymore. I'm staying here. And they break up with you, then guess what? Good for you. It's the wrong fish, guys. Or girls. Okay? Because that means they're not there for you. They're there for your passport. Alright? Know your limitations. Know your budget. Know what you can offer them. Tell them what you can offer them without actually, like again, don't pound it to the ground. You know, don't force yourself. I was just wondering if you and I could travel to the Philippines. That is if that's what you want. And what I'm saying is, but don't say, I can afford to go anywhere I want. You understand? There's a different approach there. I can go, you and I can go anywhere we want to go. That's like, again, wrong bait, guys. Wrong bait. Wrong fish. You're attracting the wrong fish there. There's a difference between, you know what? You and I was just wondering if we can travel to the Philippines. Would you like that? Can you feel that? It's different, isn't it? But of course, be sincere. I mean, if you're not planning to go anywhere, if you're just stuck there in Davao and don't intend to go nowhere, don't say that line. I mean, I'm not trying to sell pickup lines here. I'm trying to sell you. Okay? But I can't give you specific lines because only you know yourself more than anybody in this world. Okay? For instance, what do I have to offer? Okay? I mean, sure, back then I could do, trust me, I can do ninja moves and stuff like that. But Or if you are right there right now, if you're like in your 30s and you can do your backflips and stuff like that, again, all that, guess what? When come my age, that don't mean nothing. So that's something you have to remember. Know your limits. Know your age. Be self-aware. What can you do? What can't you do? Okay? I use humor. Okay? Like, even in sales. If I'm walking by a flat screen TV, I would go like, oh my God, check this out. Check this TV out. It's so Ultra HD. And I would close my eyes like this. Oh my gosh, I can feel their faces. Can you feel that? Now, I'm not lying to them because that's absurd. But they get the picture like, he's joking. That's bad. You know what I mean? Know your limits. Use what you have. Okay? Use your assets. No, I'm not telling you to like take in, your bleep pics and send them. Never do that, guys. Never do that. Please. You do that, you're in trouble. They can use that as blackmail material. Oh, John Johnson just sending me his junk. If you don't give me 10,000 pesos per week, I'm going to send this to your mother and everybody else that knows you on Facebook. Yeah, don't do that, guys. Come on. And even then, guys, I mean, just don't. I mean, I would say 90% of women really don't want to see that. Trust me. They really don't. Okay? And, again, guys, I mean, like, don't be shy. Don't be shy. You're against a race of shy people. Okay? You're against a race of Filipinos who are naturally shy. If you don't make the first move, they won't. And if you don't make that move, that ship will sail without you. You understand? I used to go to this bar in the United States. Okay, I won't tell you where exactly it is. But I used to go there, I would say probably once a month. Not very often. Okay? Guess what? I walk in there, it's like cheers. I walk in there like, they'd be like, hey, George, what's going on? Everybody in there would be like that. And I would start pile out their day. Hey, John. Hey, Jack. Hey, Jackie. What's up? Hey. Because I already built a rapport. I have that presence. But then I would just sit there and order my Old English. Okay. And then they would make it for me. I would make the whiskey sour. And I would just sit there and sip it, and I would talk to the bartender and talk to whoever's sitting next to me. Okay? And then at one time, it's a bar. There's music playing. It's a high-class bar. It's a nice, clean, high-class bar. I was drinking my whiskey sour, and then there's this lady wearing a business suit, dancing by herself in the corner. And I looked at the bartender, I was like, and he goes like, and he's like, that means it's okay. So what did I do? Okay, guys, I took dancing lessons and everything. But I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know how to dance. Alright, that's why you think I got dancing lessons. So anyway, I walked up to her and started dancing. Just go with the groove, go with the dance. And start dancing with her. And guess what? We started hanging out for more than once, different occasions. She turned out to be a multimillionaire. But you know what? I really wasn't interested. I just want to hang out. But if I were, I was already in. Bottom line, don't be shy. You think I can dance? No, I don't think so. Some people do, but no, I really can't dance. Alright? I mean, do I look like Robert Redford or Brad Pitt? No. I look like that kid from Indiana Jones. Mr. Jones! Mr. Jones! Bottom line, all people, quite honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. For the most part, the opposite sex, your looks are probably the last thing on their mind. You want to see this. And I know I'm being corny right now. Guess what? I met the greatest and best people on earth because I didn't judge myself. I didn't judge them. And I didn't want anything from them. And that's what you should do. And guess what? That's all in the United States. And again, And if you're a Filipino, better shut your ears. Shut your ears, Filipinos. You don't want to hear this. Americans are harder to pick up. Remember that. Americans are harder to pick up than Filipinos. Okay, before you guys start making hate economics, before you guys do that, it's because Filipinos are normally more friendly and they'll give you a chance more than Americans will. Filipinos are less judgmental. What I'm saying is Filipinos are more open. We're more like, hey. Yeah. So just remember that. So, remember, okay? Listen. Pay attention to them. Know what they want. Know what they need. Let them know what you want. What you need. Know your limits. Financially and emotionally. Know your limits. Okay? And communicate that in a non-monetary way. Okay? And the best thing is, quite honestly, again, don't force yourself. Don't have ulterior motives. I mean, okay, sure. I mean, if you like her or him. Sometimes you can't hide that. But sometimes that person that you approach, they may have somebody already. But guess what? That person knows somebody. Okay, and I get it. I mean, I know you're like, well, her friend or his friend or whatever. Like, why are they single? Why are they pushing at you? Don't prejudge either. You don't know what that other person's been through. Hell, they might even be hotter than the person you're trying to get. And it happens. Alright guys, just remember that. Just be yourself. Don't be shy. Don't lie. And be communicative. And speaking of communication, guys, don't use highfalutin words. Okay? Don't try to impress them with your words. That never really impresses anybody. Not even in America. It never really impresses anybody. And quite honestly, the smartest people don't use the biggest words. Because they feel like they don't have to qualify themselves. Okay? Alright guys, that's it. Just leave your comments below. Tell me your experience. Tell me that you accidentally pick up somebody just by saying hi. Or tell me how you guys got shot down. Or if it's too embarrassing, email us at gmail.com. PhilippineAntics@gmail.com. We'll respond. Don't worry, we're not going to like blast out your business out there if you don't want us to. We're not like that. But you guys are our family. Let us know what you think. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Whether you agree or disagree, let us know where you're at. Alright guys, bye.